We have some breaking news out of Perry County. We just learned before the beginning of the 4 o'clock newscast, and there's really no better way to explain this. The head of the Mother Goose landmark has fallen off here in Hazard. Now, you might remember we just reported a few days ago that this famous landmark was in danger of being demolished due to some structural damage, and it appears that has already happened. WYMT's Dakota Makris just arrived there on the scene, and he joins us live to tell us more. Dakota?
Yeah, Steve, I don't really know how to explain it. That the head of the goose is on the ground, as you can probably see right there. And like you said, Steve, we just reported over the weekend that there was some structural damage to the goose. And I was reading up real quick. There were 13 holes in the attic and some structural damage caused by winds and rain and the weather. You can see people are here just looking at the head, and someone told me earlier that it probably fell around 3:30, and it's just I really don't know how to explain it, because people are driving by, they're shocked, people are stopping, taking pictures, and I think someone said save the goose. This is iconic, and this is a piece of Hazard history that's no longer here with us. And if you all remember when we first reported the structural damage, that the caretakers are raising money for the goose. They're raising about $10,000, and I just don't know how to describe it, Steve, honestly. So I'm going to step away here. I'm going to get some more interviews, get some more information, then I'll be back much later. But for now, I'm live in Hazard. Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, it's certainly an unusual story, and to see that happen is just crazy, especially from somebody like me, being from Hazard, driving by that almost every day. It is a landmark. It was built decades ago. I believe it's over 80 years old. And Dakota, I don't know if you can still hear me, but have you talked to the owner or yet, and have they said if they're going to try to fix this? Yeah, Steve, so the owner's on her way. I'm waiting to speak with her a little bit later. I did speak with one of the caretakers who told me about what time it fell. So still, Steve, this is still very, very new, so I'm working on getting the latest information for everyone. But of course, when I get it, I'll report it. All right, we'll go back to you later on, maybe in this hour, and certainly we'll have the latest coming up at 5:30 and 6. But just really a surreal scene there in the Wabaco section of Hazard. Again, a Hazard landmark, you could say, I guess, heavily damaged, and we don't know, what led to this. All we know is that, just a few days ago, that the owners there had requested I set up a GoFundMe page. They said that this was in danger of happening, and now it has happened. And of course, we'll keep you updated, and hopefully it can be repaired. They had turned the goose into a bed and breakfast in recent years and a gift shop. People actually lived there for many years. It was a house. It was known as the Goose House. There was, for a long time, a grocery store, a gas station next door to the Goose. And again, recently it had been turned into a bed and breakfast, but it had always been a landmark in the city of Hazard and really in eastern Kentucky. Just an unusual sight, and certainly an unusual sight seeing what has happened there today. But again, we'll keep you updated as we go along. Now let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter as we have a chance of severe weather tomorrow. Let's get the latest on that.
Steve, I don't want to speculate. I was looking at the observations from the airport at the time. He said it fell about 3:30. Winds were gusting about 15 to 20 miles per hour. I don't know whether that had anything to do with it. They were gusting a little faster earlier on today, but just an unbelievable scene out there right now with the head of the Mother Goose House on the ground. Let's get to the